Facebook continues to keep getting itself into trouble. First, over its handling, of course, of the attempts to meddle in the midterms through ads and social media and fake pages and fake news, etc. Now they're getting in trouble for working with a Republican firm that is attacking George Soros. Now, let me give you the details here. This is from the New York Times, who had an investigation. They published it yesterday. And basically, what they found is that in an effort to clamp down on the criticism against Facebook, Facebook then paid people to carry out a campaign to discredit people who are anti-Facebook, right? Who are critics. And then they used George Soros in order to do so. Now, this investigation, let me read this here. They said Facebook, facing increasing backlash in Washington, hired a firm called Definers Public Affairs. That is a Republican opposition research firm to discredit anti-Facebook protesters by linking them to figures like Soros, a longtime critic of the social network. Now, Facebook originally worked with the Definers to monitor press coverage of the company, but then in 2017 expanded the relationship. Now, the public relations firm, in that new expanded role, began promoting negative coverage of Facebook's rivals, which included both Apple and Google. Now, Definers also targeted Soros after anti-Facebook activists promoted what appeared to be anti-Semitic imagery during a congressional hearing. The firm sent a research document to reporters over the summer alleging that Soros was behind an anti-Facebook movement. His Open Society Foundations, for example, supported a group that his son founded, as well as Color of Change, a group that belongs to an anti-Facebook advocacy group called Freedom from Facebook. Now, Facebook, of course, confirmed that, okay, yeah, look, we did some business with the Definers, right? And look, we would like you to look at that funding, right? We admit that we hired this group to look at who funds those anti-Facebook groups. What's the problem? What's the problem? We're not anti-Semitic, though. Oh, no. Nothing to do with being anti-Jewish. It just has everything to do with George Soros funding these groups that are anti-Facebook because he funds everything. All right, not anti-Semitic whatsoever. Now, it's my guess that they probably didn't even make that connection. They're just like, people hate Facebook. Why do people hate Facebook? Oh, there are these people that are anti-Facebook. We'll crush them. We must crush them so that we continue to make money. And in doing so, their campaign, again, went to these weirdly anti-Semitic themes of Jews control everything. Of course. Now, Tim Miller, of course, the Definers official, basically said that, hey, you know what? How dare you call us anti-Semitic? We believe that this is a disgusting attack. In fact, he said, I'm disgusted by the rise of anti-Semitism, including people who falsely targeted Soros. And he said, all the information that was sent to journalists is all based on public records. So it's nothing that isn't already out there. He also said it's deeply personal. I've continuously fought the alt-right and others who spread racist lies and hate, and will keep doing so. Now, again, I don't think that they were anti-Semitic on purpose, but all this stuff of like, look at Soros, he's the one pulling the strings, he's the one doing this funding, that lends itself to these anti-Semitic conspiracies. It's not that far of a jump to go from, well, he's funding this group, so he must also be funding that group. And by the way, he must also be funding the immigrant caravan that is full of migrants that will come and replace American citizens. It's not that huge of a jump. So you have to be really careful about what you do, especially since Soros is such a huge target. Again, he was one of the guys who got sent pipe bombs just a couple of weeks ago, just before the midterm elections. And again, the synagogue shooter, he talked about how, again, it was Soros and it's the Jews that are funding the caravan, and he's got to go in, he's got to stop it, because he's trying to protect America, he's trying to protect the white race. So you have to be really careful about what kind of thing you do. So what Facebook did is that they absolutely monstrously fucked up. And so they're going to have to take that PR hit as it is, you know? In fact, a Facebook spokesperson said, did I call it Spacebook? Facebook. They denied the accusations. The company played a direct role in the definer's work, saying in a statement that it is wrong to suggest that we have ever talked to asked the definers to pay or write articles on Facebook's behalf or communicate anything untrue. Well, look, that's not what they're saying. That's not what the New York Times said. That investigation, they did find that you were paying this group in order to promote these smears against George Soros. So that is not true at all. However, the company said that it did cut ties with the definers following the publication of the expose. Basically, look, man, we got our hand caught in the cookie jar. What are we going to do? Now we're going to cut it. We're going to make sure that we distance ourselves from the groups so we don't get any more criticism. Well, I got news for you. It's not going to work. You're going to continue to get criticism, maybe not just for this, but for other things. Facebook really needs to sit down and figure out maybe we shouldn't be evil and continue to go after only profit and to try to crush people who are say negative things about Facebook itself or who criticize us. That would be a great way to go. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to do that because, as usual, profits trump everything else. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know how I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.